Two and all right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy CIZY back at it again with another episode of the Voices of Value podcast. And we have another dope guest on. I've been slacking over the past year, posting episodes and such. But one thing that I never do is bring a shitty guest on the show. I always bring dope guests on the show. And we've done it yet again. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the Voices of Value listeners, my friend.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Shai'La Yvonne, Shayla Stiggers, Shay, DJ Shay, all of the above. I'm a DJ and wellness enthusiast here in Los Angeles. I like, of course, physical fitness, but I like to make sure I'm fit in my heart, in my mind, in my finances, in my social life. So I try to share that with my community in LA.
I love that. And you know what? You gave me something to jump into right off the top. And
Yes.
and what that is, when I talk to people about health and fitness, especially my clients when they're, signing on as clients, I'm always telling them, my focus is, yes, my primary skill set is helping you move safely, efficiently, in a smart way so that you can get to
Mhm.
your goals faster. Sure.
Mhm.
But on the other side of things, you need to understand that wellness is a spectrum. And that covers your financial wellness, your spiritual wellness, your mental wellness, your physical wellness, your occupational wellness. And
Mm,
all of these things
mm.
contribute to your overall energy and how you're going to be able to come into the gym and what effort you're going to give me.
Right.
And they also all matter when it comes to your health. If you want to live a long time, or if you just want to feel better, if you want to have more energy, all of those things contribute to that end feeling or manifestation of that feeling. So, with that being said, can you dive into what you mean by being fit in your heart, fit in your mind, fit in spirit,
Mhm.
and maybe even just go through each category for you, maybe one or two principles of that need to be present for that to be a reality in your life. If
Ooh,
you're fit in your heart, like what needs to be
what
happening in
else?
your heart, in your life?
Right,
Sorry.
right. I love that. I love this question. So a happy accident, October of 2024, I used to work at Equinox. I've been teaching indoor cycling for over a decade, but I was at Equinox for maybe a year and a half or so and was like, I want to put on an event. I'm an events girly. I love just doing stuff. I do too much all the time. So I'm like, I want to put on this event. I wanted to get 100 bikes on the roof of Equinox Sports Club. And they were like, okay, girl, like cute and all, but that's just it's a lot of work, a lot of effort. So like, how about this? We still have the 100 people. It actually ended up doubling to 200 people because we were able to break them across multiple classes. So I worked with I think four other instructors, and we had this health and wellness, or really just a festival, of classes and food and vendors and fun and all the things. So I titled it Girls Gone Active. It was, my 1 day event, whatever, whatever. And from that 200-person list, which really was maybe double that in people who wanted to come. Like our guest list was long, but we had to cap it. I just started this community. So I have this large community of mostly women. Some of my guys have joined over the last 2 years. And they are just like ready to be together, ready to take classes, ready to take workshops, ready to go to events. Okay, so this is a long-winded. I'm gonna try to touch on all the things too, Fred.
All
I'm just
good. Make it
yeah.
long winded. We're here.
Okay,
We're here to
period.
hear
I'm a
you talk,
talker.
not me.
Okay, period. I'm a talker, so that's why I was like, "Ooh, podcast." Okay, so yeah, over my goal over this year and a half or so was just create space for people. I think that's what I feel you have to have wellness in your heart and in your mind and in your spirit, that space. Whether it is that community, it's that gym, it's that class, like it's that group that meets. I that's what I wanted to create and that's what I did and I continue to do so. And so, yeah, I had a water wellness workshop at LAAC downtown. We did water aerobics, breath work. I just That was about a year ago. Just recently did a tea party. Every month we're doing something. We're doing something. So, I yeah, I that's just what I practice and I noticed that in practicing that for others, it gives me the health and wellness that I'm looking for and all the happiness that I'm looking for. Like my calling, my vibe, literally what I like. Why do I do this? I don't know, but I love it, and it's just putting out goodness. So,
I
yeah.
love that. I
Mhm.
love that. And when you were thinking about the name Girls Gone Active, like what were a few things that came to mind that helped you come up with that slogan, with that name, with that title?
Yeah, no friend. It was just supposed to be my event title. Honestly, like I wish there was more to it. I was just like, oh, Girls Gone Active, literally one time, and now we're just women that are active all the time, which is fun. But yeah, I wish there was a more cool story, but I don't know. I don't even know where it came to me. I think I asked like ChatGPT, like, give me some women. It's gonna be. I knew I wanted to do all women. Um, I think it was Women's History Month. That's why. Yeah, it was the
There we
March.
go.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, yeah. And then yes, we kept it going, or something came of it. That was my energy. I wish I could remember, but yeah,
You was like Girls Gone Active. Then you was like, damn, that sounds good. All right, say
that's
that.
actually
That's what we're gonna
cool.
go
Yeah.
with.
Throw it on a flyer, like
No,
because
I love it.
my brain is moving, and like everybody else is moving, the world is moving. So yeah, I was just like, let's run with it. Let's go
I
with it.
love it.
And
I
it's
love
it's
it.
pretty catchy. I like it.
I enjoy saying it too. I said it like 3 times before we got on the
Yeah,
episode. I was like, Girls
right.
Gone Active. And then I was
Girl,
like
yeah, you
making
gotta
beats
make
on
sure
the
that
table. I was like, Girls Gone Active, Gone
hey,
Active, Girls Gone Active. But nah, I
period.
love it. I love
Yes,
it.
thank you,
So
friend.
so when we think about, you know, things that matter to us and activities we engage in and things we do for work and goals that we chase, it all comes from somewhere. So when I think about my, introduction to physical activity, it always relates back to sports, to football, to my childhood dreams of me and my friends going to the NFL and us watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to train so that we could prepare, right? So when you think about your introduction to movement and starting to understand how moving and music makes you feel good, like what comes to mind? What part of your life like is like, oh, when I was a kid, my mom played this song and we used to dance to it or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
Like, what is that
yeah.
for you?
It's oh my God, I love your questions, friend. I'm having a great time. Um, I danced. My mom put me in tap class when I was little, and your girl just rocked with it. Like there's this little picture of me, even before the tap class, of just yeah, in little outfits. I like to dance. I like to be in front of people. I loved music, of course. Being growing up in a Black household, we had the records on the record player, grandma cooking in the kitchen. Like, yeah, music was just such a part of my life growing up. And then found dance, loved dance, and I danced until high school from like 2 to like 16. I was tap, jazz, ballet, any type of modality I would take classes in and sometimes compete in, depending on how good our team was. Um, and then from that, dance was cool, but as much as I wanted to be the ballerina of all ballerinas, I just wasn't. I don't know, it just wasn't. I was more hip hop, I don't know, that like tap. So, in your mind, when you go to school, do you go to art school? Do you go to ballet school? And I was like, okay, that's not my vibe. So I switched to cheerleading, and I was a competitive cheerleader in high school. And that was fun. But then, like, what comes of that in the best way? It's just like, I don't know what to do. So I've always just been like fit and like, or loving fitness, loving movement, loving sweat and energy. And I mean, friend, as much as those were the important things, it was the community. It was like all my girls that were in class, like, even our parents had a little routine they made. So it was like we had this whole house, this whole community that we were a part of. So I feel like the music, the movement, but also the people.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think back to like playing sports growing up, and I'm reminded of how much we don't think about the community aspect until you get older and you start realizing how hard it is to rebuild community,
Mm,
whether when you move
mm,
from city to city or when maybe you get busy with work or maybe you have kids or you get a partner and you're like, damn, I'm not really like hanging out with
right.
other people. And then you start to realize, man, that's why I love football. I used to be with my guys every day, like both. And then
Too.
like we can't forget the part about like the sacrifices you go through with the community, or
Right.
sacrifice might be a strong word, but the hard work that you go
Yeah.
through with the
Right.
community and running freaking gassers and sprinting
Mm,
and coaches yelling in your face and learning how to adapt to
exactly.
different communication styles. Like you're just constantly learning how to move your body, learning how to handle your emotions when you're dealing with
Mm,
the emotions of other athletes that you might not get along with,
mhm,
learning how to work together in a team, learning how to receive
mhm.
feedback from coaches who may not be
Ooh,
the kindest about it. And you're doing this with like 100 other people, you know?
mhm,
And
mhm.
it's kind of like just whatever, like a day in the life when you're a kid, because you're expected to do sports. That's just what you
Right,
do.
right,
But when you get older, you start to realize all the, I guess, benefits
right.
of and how you learn certain things. I always tell a story about like how I learned how to be like timely or like on time, right? And how why being on time is so important to me. And I was like, man, I had a coach who used to say, you need to be at practice at 7:27 a.m. If you're not here at 7:27 a.m., you're running 100-yard sprints down and back for the whole practice. And then if you're here at 7:26, you're running sprints. If you're here at 7:28, you're running sprints. You need to be here at 7:27. And so like
Ah,
literally like people would like hang out right by the door and it would be like 7:26. Then they'd open the door and run
ah.
down to the football field and come to practice or come run into the basketball courts and come to practice. So I had like multiple coaches who would do that same thing. Like you need to be at practice at this time. And
I
so
would
like that's
survive. I would
right.
survive,
So
friend. I would survive. I'm not the earliest. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that
you
way.
know, I always say the individuals who are the most creative and the
Yeah.
individuals who have a love for music, I've never known them to be on time.
And I am creative and I'm a DJ. Oh
Yeah,
no.
that's all I need. That's all you need to know. You tell me that you make music, I'm like, say less. I'm like, be here at 6:30. And when you get there at 7, you be like, dang, I thought I was late. Nobody's here. I'll be like, because it actually starts at 7. I just wanted to tell you to be here at 6:30.
Because I'm gonna be
But
late.
hey,
But that's what
listen,
I need people
listen.
like you in my life because my friends, my family, they know if they want me to be on time, they have to tell me a different time. Yeah.
It just has to be that way
You
sometimes,
know,
I
I
learned from my brother. My brother is a creative and makes music, and my
Mhm.
girlfriend the same. And it's like you just
Mhm.
learn on the go. You learn very fast. But the
Yeah.
you know I wanted to dial in and tap into a little bit about your childhood as well and growing up.
Yeah.
So could you tell us a little bit about where you're from, where'd you grow up, and
Love that.
maybe start off with like one of your favorite things about the town or city that you grew up in and something you miss about it.
That's so cute. Yes. Okay, so I was born in Hayward, California. I'm from the Bay Area. When I was in high school, we moved to the Central Valley. So that I would say most of my memories are from there. And because it was just such a change in my life. But I loved everywhere that we lived, Bay Area. And only like an hour because grandmother, cousins, everybody's still in the Bay. Um, Man, my favorite thing about Manteca, California. Let's see. There's not much. It literally means lard, in Spanish, manteca. But it's, I wouldn't trade it for the world because that's how I grew up and that's the reason I am who I am today and I'm damn proud of her. So, I mean, yeah, I would just say I guess I miss the simplicity of it all. Like I'm a big city girl, but I do, LA is like home, but we knew everybody growing up. Everybody knew everybody. Like everybody went to the like football Friday night football games. I was a cheerleader. It was like that, just literally that kind of small town feel. So, yeah, I appreciated that because I came from the Bay, which is a full big city. Then, got to chill out for a little while and then was like, I gotta get back. So LA, LA.
I love it. And when did the transition to LA happen? What was like the motivation behind it? I feel like everybody has a LA story in some way
Hell
or
yeah.
fashion.
So I graduated from UC Santa Barbara. I went back home to the Bay and I had already, we had been to Disneyland growing up. And then when I was in Santa Barbara, a lot of my friends were from LA. So we would go down, like drive down occasionally. So like LA was always on my heart. But my family and my future job, I had a full-time job working as a business analyst at PG&E. And so I was that basically, had that wanted to have that job and great money coming out of college. I did that, friend, and I was so miserable. I hated it. I was late. Like, it wasn't, I was great because I also had a really great position where I could add a little bit of creativity towards um, more of a corporate job. So I did employee engagement. I wrote our like community newsletters. Like they kind of put me in a position. I built our process library, started the process documentation library. So still very corporate, but a little bit of fun and excitement on the side. Anyway, motivation to leave. Yeah, I just wasn't me. It just didn't fit. I wasn't. I knew I felt like there was more. And friend, what did I do? We got bonuses every year around Christmas. I bought my DJ equipment. I used to DJ in the living room after work all the time. And I actually was modeling in San Francisco as well. So that was cool. But I wanted to go to LA because I knew I could DJ, I could model, I could be a star, be in the Hollywood lights. So yeah, I moved here hoping to model, came here with my portfolio, but also had DJing in my like back pocket just for fun. Everybody's in LA to be an actress and a model and everything else. So I got, even to this day, I do a little bit of commercial modeling here and there, but you know, to be the next Tyra Banks didn't end up happening.
Man,
So
shout out Tyra Banks though,
okay,
low key.
okay.
Like when growing up, so I grew up with four brothers, four sisters. And when I was growing up, yo, we used to watch that show. What was that show?
Mhm.
America's Next
Next
No.
time.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
used to watch that shit, bro.
Mhm.
Tyra Banks was my queen. I was like,
Yes,
man, I was like, I'm trying to marry Tyra. I was
exactly.
like, what's good with Tyra? What's good with
I
Tyra?
wanted to be her. I wanted to be,
Right. And I remember
yes,
my sisters like always like, oh, I want to dress like her. I want to be her. We used to watch that shit every night. So much so
that
my
was so
dad
good.
started watching that. Like, yo, we
It
used
was
to,
good.
yeah. Anyway, shout
But
out
it
Tyra
is
Banks.
reality TV too. Like I'm a reality TV girl, and so that was the OG. Like,
And I had a dabble of it. It wasn't too
yeah,
much. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yes,
Now it's
yeah,
like full
exactly.
on. Now it's full
Yeah,
on. But before there was like it was a little, it was a little dab. And Tyra
right,
had a good little side eyes here and there.
right.
It was a dabble, but it was enjoyable.
Exactly. And it was like, I mean, it was more reality than reality TV is now. It was like, yeah, they were really out here like doing the things and people kept their decorum for the most part, on TV, even
Exactly.
like
That's really what it
most
is. They
wild
kept their
is what
decorum.
gets casted, so they are out here doing the most on all
Exactly.
series, which is why I tune in. But
Now, listen,
but
I understand.
yeah, friend, from modeling, I just came out here to hustle. That I was the LA store. I was just knew that I wanted to make it in this city, and it ended up being my hobby and like joy for DJing. That is the reason why, my bills are paid. So I'm super lucky. I was able to do that and well, DJing music and then that energy, but then also fitness and wellness because I picked up indoor cycling while I was at UC Santa Barbara. They had a new fitness program and you got half a credit. And the straight A student that I was, I wanted extra credits graduating. So I was like, why not take a class? Yoga, Pilates, all the cool stuff in my mind was taken. So I was like, "Ugh, I guess I'll do the cycling class. Little did I know I would love the bike, Soul Cycle, Equinox, now my own studio. So it's like yeah, I don't movement in music and vibes is like keeps me alive. Literally.
I love that. I love that. I'd love to dabble a little bit of this conversation on the business side of DJing. So,
Mhm.
when we think about entrepreneurship, like the very basics of entrepreneurship is number one, you need to have a service or a product that people want, right?
Right.
In order for people to want it, people have to be aware of it. They need to be
Mm.
cognizant that it exists.
Hmm.
And then once they're cognizant that it exists, you got to get people to, actually buy in, show up, to experience the service or the product. And then the customer service or the product or service has to be good enough for them to keep coming back. So
Yep.
when you think about it from those like, four or five tenants, number one, think about a service or a product that you're
Right.
going to sell. Number two, how do I make this shit good and make people aware of it? Number three, get people to come. And then number four, keep them coming. think
Hmm.
about that from the DJ perspective, starting at, deciding that you were going to like try to book DJ gigs. Like what's the story behind that? What was your first DJ gig?
Oh, period.
When did you realize like, oh, I'm about to try to start making some money from this? And like, let's start there.
I love this question. I f- I think I wanted to start making money because I had quit my job and thought I was gonna get, a modeling contract with Ford and didn't. So I was like, I need money. What do I do? Yeah, DJing for me. It's so interesting. It was never the plan, friend, and that's why I love it so much. It was, I'm, trying to be meticulous. I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna save my money. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. But I just like took my DJ stuff with me. It wasn't like this is gonna be what I'm doing. So, how did I fall into it 10 years ago? Old lady. I think, friend. Yeah, I moved to LA. I was in a relationship at the time, so we moved here together and we just needed to make it. We needed to stay. We wanted to stay. He had a remote job, so he was able to work from home, but that was what I was doing. I was like trying to either find something on the bike and yeah, let me DJ somebody's party or something. At that point, I think I'd been a living room DJ. I DJed like my sister's birthday party one year, but I wasn't really out in these streets. Um, yeah, I started to get out in these streets. Just started to put myself out there. Like looking on, oh my gosh, I wouldn't look there now, but with Craigslist for jobs, yeah. Looking on Craigslist for DJ jobs. And then at that time, it's still a service, but it was much different. Thumbtack, if it was looking for DJs. And I was like, well, fuck it. Like, here's some pictures of me DJing. Like, I was a good DJ. I'm a
Took some
great DJ.
photos of you DJing in the kitchen,
Right,
put
exactly. Trying
some
to
background
outside.
images back there.
Yeah. Maybe there was some people in the back, like have my three friends stand behind me.
They
So,
said, why that person in the back look like animation?
right, right. Is that Barack? No, how did Barack get back there? Like, just out the sloppy. But no, I put myself on Thumbtack. I started to book, again, backyard parties, smaller corporate parties, which were cool, office parties or holiday parties. Um, I got an email from Adrienne Bailon's team. She was having a party in her backyard. Adrienne Bailon, Cheetah Girls, The Real. So I was like, is this really her? And it was really her. And I DJ'd at her condo and it was just like a little party she was having for friends. And of course I'm seeing people on different TV shows and I'm like, I'm fucking in LA. Like, hell yeah. Like that's the shit. So that was the start of like my I would say real DJing in the sense of dollars, like corporate or celebrity. That's when I add, I did one celebrity party. Now I'm a celebrity DJ type of
Add
deal.
that title in there. You're like, hold up, let me
Yes.
go ahead and add that shit.
Yeah. Period. Period. You have to. And so that, and it just in the best way snowballed, expanded. I mean, I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Like, and I'm getting good reviews and people are now they're hearing about it, they're seeing it. I have content now because I'm doing gigs and I'm not just at the house, in the living room or whatever. And friend, it became me. It became, I love music, love dancing, love all of that. So, I'm not your typical DJ when it comes to sourcing music or my ear. I had a dance teacher. Like our cheer mixes were fucking fire. Like I can't be out here mixing nonsense, So just like having that background and then yeah, now having this future, yeah, having it all come together and friend, the entrepreneurial side of that, I learned as I went because this was not the plan, and also, yeah, you don't know until you know. So, um, yeah, my business sense has fully come in handy from DJing into Girls Gone Active, into my soon to be boutique fitness studio Gone Active, into just life, honestly. But yeah, dealing with people, contracts, money, accounts, taxes, like all the things.
Yeah,
And
it's a learn on the go situation. I think at the end of the day, like people who want to get into business just need to understand that the majority of the time that shit is just on the go, bro. Like you're just figuring things out. on the
And
go, and you have to
go.
be comfortable being, you need to learn how to manage your anxiety, essentially.
Ooh.
Manage your anxiety. You need to learn how to manage like stress and the
Mhm.
feeling of not knowing what's next or not knowing how to do something. And you need to be
Control. That control.
resourceful. You need to
Mhm.
be resourceful like a motherfucker. So I mean,
But
from what I hear from you, it's like, okay, I need to make some money. Let me do a little bit of DJing. You're like, let me throw my business up on Thumbtack. Let me throw
mhm,
some emails on Craigslist until somebody
mhm.
bites. So that was like your first, like, how do I draw awareness? Let me use these tools that are already out there.
Yeah.
You booked a gig, probably took some photos from that, took some reviews from that, put that out there online. Somebody else is like, hey, do you think you can do a wedding in a few months? And you're like, sure. And
Exactly.
then you're like,
I
I
actually
got you
did
on a
Adrian Bailon's wedding in
there.
Paris. She got flew
Exactly.
out.
There you
That's when
go.
I was like, this is what I'm doing. If I can charge the first of all, the price is the price. That's the other entrepreneurial lesson that I want
Say
to
it again. Double down on it real quick. Go
right?
on a rant real
Louder for
quick.
the people in the back. The price is the price. Stand on business. If you know it costs you this much to do what you're doing, the discounts, oh, free trade. Yes, with grace. Let me not we're not shutting that out because there's some benefit to that. But just I would say I'm 10 years in the game, friend, and still have to fight my rate, but I will fight my rate because that's 10 years of expertise. That's 10 years of like of tears and sweat and practice and contracts and invoices and reading and learning and Serato and downloading and just doing all the work. And that's how much it costs for me to DJ for you. You know what I mean? That's how much it costs for me to train you. That's how much it costs for my t-shirt line. Because
Yeah.
I had to do all these things. Like the price is the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what does that conversation normally look like to you? Is it simply like that type of response? If somebody's like, hey, can you do any discounts? Are you just like, unfortunately, no, send and wait for them to respond? Or is it like, do you literally try to explain it? Or like, what does your process look like? I know some people who are like, literally will probably dead ass respond in the message, the price is the price. And then some people might be like, hey, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not offering any discounts right now. Let me know what you can afford and I'll try my best to work with you. And then some people are like, I'm just not going to respond. Like, what does that process look like for you? Say I wanted to hire you for a DJ gig. You're like, okay, it's $10,000 for 3 hours. And you're like, and I'm like, damn, that's expensive as shit. I can't afford that. Like, how are you going to respond?
Right. Okay. So people usually ask me my rate, and I give them an hourly rate, also depending on the event or what's going on. Do I respond? The price is the price? Sometimes, to be quite honest, in the best way. Depends on the client, depends on the situation. So, yeah, if you're like, hey, how much is it for this party? I'm like, hey, it's $1,000. Okay, $1,000 for the party. And you're like, oh, we only budgeted for 500. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll take 500. Granted, this is a service, so it's easier for me to trade. When you have product, it really comes down to the dollars and cents. So I would say unfortunately, no, or unfortunately, or fortunately, 4th of July, we're having a sale, a big sale, or whatever it is when it comes to products. But with my services, I do trade if it benefits me. And if I want, because exposure, back in the day, like, okay, I did all the free gigs, you know what I mean? But also that's practice for me. That's getting better at my craft. So again, that was the trade. She's 10 years in the game. I'm not trading anymore. So bills are billing, I'm hungry. So yeah, the price is the price, but with ease and grace and
He
like
said, I'm hungry. Sorry, that made me laugh.
you know what I mean? Like I like nice food, like so I will DJ and work for it, but like the price is the price.
No, I love that. I love that. And I wanted to jump into the social side of things. How important has social media been to you over the years when it comes to building a brand, when it comes to booking gigs on the DJ side of things, when it comes to promoting Girls Gone Active and getting more people to join? How beneficial or non-beneficial has it
Right?
been for you over the years? And how do you think about and or manage social media so that it doesn't become overwhelming?
That's a great question. I am learning and still figuring out this every day, because I have a love-hate relationship, especially with my personal slash DJ brand is my DJ Instagram is my personal Instagram. So I don't want to have a ton of Instagrams. Like I didn't want to separate it. Also, DJing is me. I am DJing. Shay is DJ Shay. So yeah, just navigating all of that. With that, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. It's important. Of course, to me, my Instagram is essentially my resume. Of course, I'm putting my my Getty photo from doing the premiere of the Yellow Jacket series. I'm putting my best foot forward. So I love that if you type in at dj.shay on Instagram, you'll see like, my love, my life and all the hard work that I've put into it and that I love to continue to put into everything that I do. Um, it's helpful. I think I'm also not your like biggest content creator. Like there are DJs who are like putting out mixes, doing little reels, like, and I'm just like, oh, here's my picture from last week. We had a great time. So I feel like to each their own, friend. I don't know if that helps, because I think there's beauty in both. Like I like the space that I create. Like I don't want my phone in my hand and in my face all day. We have a lot of screens around us all the time. I'm also an auntie. Like I'm an old lady, so that's where I'm at with it. If you go to my sister, like TikTok is life, so I get that, and she's had some viral videos and was able to. So I think there's beauty to both sides. But for me, I just do what I do. I'm like, if I feel like posting, I'm posting. If I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna try to force a mix because that's weird, or I'm not gonna try to like do a weird wellness quote on Girls Gone Active one day because I'm just trying to make sure I do 10 posts this week. Like I'm gonna post, I'm gonna communicate when I need to with my people. And that's the beauty of my Girls Gone Active page. It's not an advertising page. I mean, it's there to show what we've done, sure, but like people just follow to find out what we're doing, and that's the point of that. So follow if you want. I'm gonna post when I have stuff to post. Other than that, it's gonna be quiet. It's not about the follower count. And if you unfollow, have a good day. That's
Yeah.
just yeah, the vibe. DJ Shea, a little bit different brand, wanting to put her forward and, showcase her a bit. So yeah, friend, I just make it up every day. How I'm feeling.
No, I love that
Yeah.
response. I love that response. It feels very freeing, and I think that's what, at the end of the day, so many people are looking for when it comes to social.
Yeah.
They want to use social to leverage, but they
Mhm.
also feel like, I don't know, like imprisoned by it at the same time.
Ah,
So it's like trying to find a way to not feel imprisoned, not feel like caged, feel
right.
free, do it freely, have fun, and utilize it and make it into a tool by just being authentically you and doing,
Absolutely.
whatever feels, good to you. And some can argue like, no, but you need to post 300 posts a month. And sure, like maybe that works for certain people, but like
Right.
y'all also got to
Right.
respect your mind, you got to respect your soul, you got to respect, all the different things we talked about at the beginning from like a wellness spectrum standpoint.
100%.
um no, I love that. So when it comes to DJing, this will be my like last DJ specific question.
Okay.
When it comes to DJing, give me like three or four like pet peeves. Like obviously there's the mandatory ones. Like I hate when a motherfucker come up and it's like, can you play this song? Or like trying to
Oof.
talk to you while you're like literally in the middle of DJing. It's like it's one thing to be like, hey, good job, like love it. But
Right.
anyways, I'm over here speaking for you. Go
I'm
ahead
about
and
to say,
give
but
me
friend, that is it. You hit the nail on the head. Like it's gonna kind of be a broken a broken record, but it's the same vibe of requests. Requests are cool, right? But time and place and like what's going on and like the song that you are requesting, like if we're up here and we usher, yeah, like don't request I don't know, Luther by Kendrick. It's too slow, at that time, in that party, at that moment. But best believe there's a space for it. So if you do request it, know that the DJ's probably going to find a different time for it if they do. And then just don't bother them about that. So that's a pet peeve, like making a request, me being like, oh, okay, I might try to work it in. And then you coming in and checking on me every few songs and being like, where's my request? Where's my
that's
request?
crazy.
That is crazy. And it happens all the time.
I just want to go ahead and say that I think that's probably a man. But
Yeah,
anyways, go
oh,
ahead.
1,000%, 1,000%. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest too with the request, like this is not your party. Unless it is. Yeah, if it is your party, you already talked to the DJ, y'all got a plan. But this is not your party. So if you're coming with a request, like I have a QR code, like Zelle me. Give me $2, $3, $5. Like I'm playing your your track for you. Like, I'll take it. So
I love that. I
I have
love
my
that.
Venmo, have a QR code with all my links, but it has my Venmo and like hook a girl up. That's the thing. Don't touch any of the equipment. Also, a thing that actually that's not true. Men and women have done that to me. Want to like fake DJ or like touch or play pretend like I am DJing. So if you touch something, you're gonna change something. And you usually change it at the worst time and not in the way it's supposed to be changed. So yes, don't touch anything. I don't go to your job and request you to do stuff and touch your equipment. I don't do that. So that's why I always tell people if they come up to me and they're like talking to me a lot, I'm using my ears. I'm using my ears to DJ, not to hear you. So chances are, if I'm saying yeah, yeah, I didn't hear you, or I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I was just nodding to get you to go away from me. So yeah, don't talk to the DJ, don't touch the DJ stuff. And if you're gonna make a request, send a Zelle or drop $1, something just to show, hey, like, thank you so much for accommodating me when there's a party of hundreds of people.
Hell yeah. I love that. Matter of fact, that's good advice. You know what I'm saying? That was
Yeah.
good advice. If you go to an event, ladies and gentlemen, and you about to be the annoying person, first off, just know you're the annoying person if you go up and make a request. Just
Right.
know that nobody's rocking with you, bro. Just know that, first off. But with love, know it with love, okay? And then number two, if you are gonna do that, despite knowing that you kind of slightly being a little extra,
Right.
send some money.
A little bit. Just a
Send
little
some
bit.
money.
Like it's
Just
like times are
throw
hard. It's expensive outside. It's
a little
expensive outside.
$4. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to cover 50% of my matcha tomorrow morning. But
Right.
listen, help me
Exactly.
out. Right.
Exactly.
No, I respect that. I love that.
I love that.
Um, okay, let's talk a tad bit more about Girls Gone Active. So I know we
Yeah,
touched on it, but I feel like we've kind of just been like poking, touching on it. So if
of
you wouldn't
course.
mind just talking about like the mission statement, the purpose of Girls Gone Active, and then like what that looks like as like a organization today. Is there memberships? Is it like always these events,
I
or
love
is it
this.
only focused on this? Is it only for growth? Like let's start
Wow.
with a mission statement, and then let's dive into a little bit more about like future plans and what that actually is today.
Okay, friend, don't kill me, but I'm about to pull my mission statement up, girl, because
Do
or
it.
sorry, not
Do
girl.
it. It's okay.
Call
It's
you
okay.
girl. Because I'm the reason why I'm doing it this way is I've actually been working on Gone Active, my boutique fitness studio, and that is where my brain is fully at. And that is kind of to answer the question about what's going on with Girls Gone Active. I wouldn't say it's paused, but it's definitely slowed because that has taken precedent in my life, either with time or money, energy. So with Girls Gone Active, I mean, this year has probably been the slowest year. Well, one, because LA has just been going through a lot. We had a lot of things go on in our city. So asking people to spend a little extra, or I mean, of course, the free things that I can provide, they are free. But if it is, a class, like we're trying to rebuild homes, we're not really like taking yoga classes all day,
Yeah,
or something. So
absolutely.
just trying to like read the room, with it all. Anyway, I said all that and I didn't pull up. My Girl's Gone Active mission statement, friend.
Take your time. Take your time.
Thank
And as she
you.
pulls that up, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, do all the things that are going to, spread the word of DJ Shai. Let people listen to this episode. Make sure you follow her at dj.shay on IG. Keep up with her. But just a little plug to give her some time to pull up the mission statement. But make
Thank
sure y'all
you.
like and subscribe
No,
and
I
doing all the
appreciate
necessary
it. And
things.
honestly, all I have to do is go to my website. I'm over here trying to pull up decks and investor conversations. Look at me getting all
Google
formal.
Drive, she's like, hold on, let me pull up Figma.
Right, exactly, doing the most. So, if I envision the goal is to have members and it be more of a members only. But I've also been playing with that idea because I just want it to be accessible and I want joy and happiness and wealth. I mean, I've been able to secure sponsors for certain things. So it's like, do I want it to be a membership, in that way where you're paying or so? So no one has paid to have membership yet. That hasn't been the vibe. Maybe for, to help us towards events. So a lot of the fees just go towards putting things together for everyone, and it doesn't. cover everything, in the best way. We love you guys. We love our community. So that's what we're doing. But um, it's um, it's mostly just a community for women to thrive in their happiness, their health, their wellness, their occupation, their finances. Again, creating that space. So not that, I mean, I won't say that there wasn't any space because there are plenty of spaces, but a space that was something with me and my people and the things that we like to do. And yeah, that's how Girls Gone Active was born. And so I have my listserv of about 1,000 women. Men have participated in some Girls Gone Active events. So it has depended on what it is. Like my thing for gearing towards women is obviously because I am one, but um we are the salt of the earth. We give birth, we give life, we raise the community, and we need to be cared for because we're often not. We're often not. So I want to do, a tea party where everybody, I threw a tea party a couple months ago. Everybody's like, a tea party? What are we doing? I'm like, we're literally just sitting down and drinking tea and talking and eating and like just chilling for a couple hours. Like this society, there always has to be something. What are we doing? What are we getting out of it? It's the money exchange. Like sitting there, I get so much from sitting down with my peers and just talking about whatever than I do, sometimes from paid seminars, or panels. It's like just sitting down in community with people like-minded matters. And so I want to build that. I want people to be able to explore that. Like that's also what Girls Gone Active is. Every time we come together, someone else is collaborating and doing something else somewhere else in the city. And that is all that I want and more. Like whether you now have a new realtor, or y'all are both now putting on a fitness event and a wellness event yourselves. Can never have enough fitness and wellness. Like, like keep it going. So that's really simple. I don't want much from it. I also want, I guess with all that said, I also want cool and fun and like unique things. So like I don't see a lot of people throwing tea parties. I want to throw a tea party for my girls. And honestly, if my guys like I know plenty of men who like tea. Come drink tea. Like it's a tea house. You drink tea and like we just talk and eat good food. So stuff like that. Water aerobics. It's mostly an older one in their mind. Think of like older people doing that, but it's water aerobics is one really hard. It's great for your muscles, for your heart, for your like
And it's fun as hell.
it's super fun and it's in the water. Like, come on, so fun. Water is healing and cleansing. Intentional with with all the things. I try to be intentional with all the things that I'm doing with Girls Gone Active. But just an opportunity, I have women that have created their own workshops and things, and been able to now have a group to pitch those workshops to and share that information with. And yeah, just creating space, friend. I don't know if that long mission statement.
No, no, no. That makes so much sense. I mean, that's really just what I wanted both myself and the audience to understand is like, what's the goal? Number one, what do you guys do? Number two, is it strictly fitness? And it sounds like it's not. I mean,
Mhm.
it is strictly wellness because all of those things contribute back to that again wellness spectrum.
Mhm.
And so that's amazing. And I just wanted the people to understand exactly what you're doing, so that way when they tap into the website, or if they
Yeah.
end up following you, or if they listen to this in 10 years, they'll know where it started and how it's transitioned. That's really
Mhm.
the most beautiful part of podcasting, at least to me.
Mhm.
And having these conversations is really just the reflective opportunity that will be there in 10 to 20 years when you can see I started this thing and this is me at
Yeah.
30 years old, and this is what I was working on, and now I'm 45, and like this is how that's blossomed, or this is how that's
Period.
transitioned. And I think that's the real importance of these conversations, not to like get people to know you today, but to be
Mhm.
able to like come back and reflect on and how we've grown over the years. That's what I think is really beautiful about these experiences, these conversations.
Love
So
that.
that's really what I wanted you to explain there. I would love for you to, on that same topic, so we can look back on this in a few years and like see how
Yeah.
it's grown and how it's transitioned, to dive into the boutique studio and talk a little bit about, maybe let's say one or two things that you find to be really enjoyable about the process of building this out, and one to two things that have been like really overwhelming that you've been struggling to like overcome.
Oh my goodness. Friends, I'm so excited for Gone Active. One thing that has been crazy in the experience is in my head, it was open a year ago. I'm like, "Ah, I'm just doing it. Do this. All I need to do is do this, and do this. And I'm hoping that next summer we're ready in the sense of it will eventually be ready. It's just everything, all good things take time, so patience and yeah, what I'm building is not an overnight thing. It's something that I plan to franchise, something that I plan to have all around the world and for years and years to come. So it's going to take a long time to build. I'm working with branding, I'm working with contractors for equipment, I'm working with building contractors. It's been a journey. But what I will say is it's going to be great. Gone Active is going to be the next fitness, honestly, a boutique fitness studio on a large gym scale. So I want that feel of getting community. That's the most important. And I'm used to riding in a dark room. I'm a soul cycler. I taught there for 4 years before the pandemic, but rode there for most of my cycling life. Dark room, candle, instructor, everybody just sweating, good music, vibes, energy, like church. You would leave just everything on the floor there, and like miss that. So I want that. But for my people, because that's one thing I will say, Soul Cycle was very Caucasian, and I want people of color to have access to high-end fitness experiences and be able to afford it and feel comfortable and welcomed into it. So that's Gone Active. I will have it'll be 2 rooms. It will always be 2 rooms. One room will be dedicated to cycling because I got all my bikes. And then the other room will be multi-function. So we'll do the boxing, the yogas, the mat Pilates, the dance, the sound baths. We're gonna do everything in there. It's gonna be a good room, good big room with lots of mirrors and great sound.
It's gonna be a good room. That's
It's
all.
gonna be
Hey,
a good
listen, the
room.
room, it's gonna be
It'll be good.
good.
It'll be a good room. And yeah, I love, I'm also an Equinox girly. I was at Equinox for 3 years and I love my eucalyptus towels and my steam room and my sauna and my, all the things. So I feel like luxury, and it's no shade to any other gym. I'm just bougie. So I want, all my towels washed for me and I can grab, and that's what I want to create for my patrons. And so that's what is happening. Gone Active is again, it's going to be a third space, somewhere you can call home, but somewhere you can train and focus and love and sweat and dance and cycle and I mean, there's going to be a DJ booth. It's going to be me in a physical building. I'm going to just embody myself in a building. There's going to be a DJ booth in the lobby. We will have events. We will have talks. We'll have panels. Like, it's gonna be just a space where we can be us.
I
That's
love
really
that. I love that. A space where we can be us by DJ
yes.
Shai. I
And
love that. I love that. If there's somebody listening right now that like, whether it's, tomorrow, next year, in
Mhm.
5 years, wants to reach out and help you with this process. Maybe that's an investor, maybe that's a consultant, maybe that's another coach who loves your vibe, loves your energy, and is like, I
Yes.
want to like help with some franchising in 10 years, whatever it
Yes.
might be. How can they reach out to you, and or what is like one or two things you're really looking for some help on?
Ooh, I mean, need money. That's what I was gonna say. The biggest lesson that obviously to build my dream. Give me your money so I can build my dream. So investors, absolutely. I have a couple that I'm working with and working on, one potentially being myself. So, trying to do that. But I'm you can always find me like an Instagram. I check my DMs. I'm a DM girly, and then we'll move to email. But Shai, Shai, at goneactive.com. Also, Shai at girlsgoneactive.com. Also, buy your domain name. That's what I'm gonna say.
That
That's all
part.
for you. Like that's so important. If you have a name and you know it and you love it, domain names can be so inexpensive. Don't sit on it and then you go and somebody took your domain name. And also just check business names on the US like copyright, trademark website. Make sure somebody didn't already, of course your ideas are original and amazing, but we are humans and sometimes don't rebuild things if you don't have to, but go check and make sure that's not so that you can copyright and trademark and own your ideas, your name, your domain, all the things. So that's what's taking long. That's what takes money. That's what takes planning and paperwork and all the things. But don't, I think that's also, friend, why this project in the best way has a year ago I would have thought that I would have been open, but I'm actually like working to leave no stone unturned, and I have a great coaching team that's helping me with that. And so just yeah, leaning it to any contractors or coaches that know about boutique fitness, please email. And yeah, also instructors and business side, and then also fitness side, operations and business, all the sides. If you want to help me, I'm open because that's another thing. Accept help. When people like, I don't know everything. I know very little when it comes to everybody else around me. Let me get the experts out there and don't be shy to like one, ask for help or two, accept help. So I'm open to receiving it. Help me.
I
Help me.
love that. Help me.
Help me. Yeah, yeah.
Please.
Help me.
It made
Please.
me anytime somebody says help me, it makes me think of that Kevin Hart stand-up clip where he's like, he's like, help me.
Help me.
Nigga, please.
Literally. Literally. That's me.
Nah, that shit
I
cracks
am
me
not
up.
tired
Nah,
about that. Help. I need
I
it.
love it. I love it. Well, how I'd like to leave off this conversation today is if there is a quote or a phrase that you say to yourself often that makes you either feel good or calm down or like, you know, anything in that way. And I'll give you an example. One thing I say to myself all the time is day by day to see a better day. So when people like ask me, how are you feeling? I'm like, day by day to see a better day. Or if I'm like, wake up and it's a hard or a good day, like it don't
Mhm.
really matter what type of day it is. I'm like, day by day to see a better day. And it's not to say that today wasn't great, but it's like
Right.
I'm living day by day
Show
to
me how good it
continue
can
to
get.
see a better day. You know what I'm saying? Like every
Really,
day I'm trying to make it a great day. So like that's something I say to myself
really.
often, whether to calm me down or when people are like, how are you doing today? What's like
Mhm.
your go-to phrase?
I love
And
that.
then I'll have you plug yourself again with socials and then we'll wrap it up.
Thank you, friend. Okay, so you actually did the like I used to say show me how good it can get, kind of like the day by day situation, but we covered that. So I'm gonna go to the next one. I my goal when I am doing things or reaching, I'm gonna see how many no's I can collect. I'm out here collecting no's. So then I'm not disappointed when it is a no. Let's collect them all because that yes is on the way. That follow through's coming. So we'll keep collecting no's. That's fine. So my goal is to collect as many no's so they're all out the way. So that yes is the only thing standing. So go out there and
I
collect
love
no's,
that.
y'all.
I love that. Collect the nose. The yes is on its way.
Yes,
Let's
friend.
get it. I love it. That is DJ Shai, another episode of the Voices of Value podcast. Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, the least I could ask of you is to follow DJ Shai. All right.
Please.
Now, if y'all feeling super generous, then y'all can subscribe and share this episode
Mhm.
on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple, all the places you're listening at. But at the very least, go shoot Shay a message. Go let her know you listen to the episode. Go let her know that you can support in this way or that way.
I
I
love that.
really don't care about me. The show is about the guests that we bring on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this conversation. Shay, go ahead and plug them. Where can they find you one more time on IG, YouTube, Twitter,
Absolutely.
like wherever they can
Well,
find
let's
you?
start with Girls Gone Active. You can go to girlsgoneactive.com, and then at the very top is a subscription to my newsletter. So anytime I have events, panels, talks. If I'm sometimes I have DJ gigs where I could just have everybody come through, I'll shoot it out on the newsletter. So that's the best place to find that information. I'll also keep you guys updated on Gone Active there too. And then DJ.Shai on Instagram. That's at DJ.SHAI. And you'll see a cute picture of me. And then that's I also have all the things, of course, Girls Gone Active, DJ Shai, all the things. So follow me.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for coming on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap.